From its very earliest days, it was a wild success.
The field house was a gathering place. We would, as students when I was here at LSU, we would gather outside. That's where you met everybody. That's where you talked to everybody. And you know, you were going to get your mail. People would sit on the stoops and just hang around. It was a wonderful place to be at the time.
I think it means something. You know, if you danced in that ballroom or played in the gym or took a class there or swam in that pool, those are good memories. And you shouldn't drive by and see a dilapidated building that was a place where you had so much fun and was the center of this campus at one point in time.
Now, buildings speak. They have something to say. Good buildings speak louder than others. This building certainly was in need of repair. It was sad. It made your heart hurt to go there, to see what could be and to see the condition it was in. But there was more than that. There was a resonant story. There was something important to say, and it wasn't just a backward-looking story. It wasn't about what was in the past. It was about what could be. And so to tap into that vision, to see the possibilities and to build on the foundation of the past and take that into the future, especially given what the college was imagining, was an exciting opportunity.
Louisiana needs healthy people who are educated. And so this facility will house college education, and then human sciences. Social work is so important to Louisiana right now. We have a mental health crisis in Louisiana and throughout the country. And this facility is going to house that college, and it's going to educate people on how to help people who have mental health issues. And then kinesiology. We need, like I said, healthy people who are educated, and the physical aspect of it with kinesiology and what it's teaching people to do and how it's going to help with people's health outcomes is extremely important in Louisiana too. So I just think that the investment in this building says a lot for what we want to do in this state, addressing problems that are some of our most serious problems, and it's a step in the right direction.
This is going to provide a huge opportunity, not only for undergraduates, but for graduate students that come into our department. In terms of undergraduates, it'll allow us to have a home base for these undergraduate students where they'll take the classes that are necessary to graduate with a degree. But really, it should provide a laboratory experience that is state-of-the-art compared with other universities around the US and compared to what they're getting right now. We've sort of piecemealed the laboratory experience together in order to try and give them an opportunity to see the testing and the intervention that goes on with exercise outside in the real world. But with this opportunity, we're going to have state-of-the-art equipment, state-of-the-art facilities to actually teach them what's happening in cardiac rehab centers, what's happening in some of the best personal fitness areas that are out. And hopefully, you know, the goal at the end of the day is for them to get good jobs. And hopefully this will provide an experience that allows them to have some of the top of the line jobs around the US and around the world.
Like, it doesn't really feel like home, just because like our professors are there, but it doesn't really feel like a unit. So I feel like moving to the field house would allow me to, one, come together with my classmates and see all of us, because it's 30 of us, but I'm only in class with half of them. So it's like allow us to come together, and it also allows it to kind of be like a one-stop shop, like all of my professors, all of the academic like directors and stuff like that. I don't really have to jump around campus. I just know they're all in one central area. Everybody can talk, hey, I found this internship opportunity, hey, I found this job opportunity after you graduate. You know, let's sit down together in the field house, come together, and we can work on the application or something like that. And I think that for new classes coming in, the dynamic, the atmosphere would be that of something that's supporting our learning. Once I graduate, I'm not gonna like just say, I'm never coming back to LSU. I want to come back to the Huey P. Long Fieldhouse and help those generations to come, because I was once in their shoes.
It's hard to find somebody who loves LSU more than I do. And just through my family's commitment to LSU and the fact that we all are diehard Tiger fans and care about this school even more than just the sports, but the school itself. It means so much because it's educated us, and you know, as we have so many memories being on this campus and so many friendships that were created here, it's just a part of us. And to see this facility now be revived, because it was so sad to see it in disrepair. I know the Foundation for Historical Louisiana tried to revive it, but the dollars weren't there. I know there were some private fundraising efforts that you know, were pushed very hard to try to revive it, but you know, it's just very difficult. It took just a collective effort of the state and the private donors to get it done.
This has been a team effort from those that have helped support and move this forward as an idea, from those here at the university that have planned for it and made it possible, from even folks in the State House and beyond that understand the significance and importance.
This project is a result of years of perseverance and commitment. The folks that you just mentioned, Carolyn Hargrave, Carolyn Collins, Laura Lindsay, Jacqueline Ducote, they were working on this project more than 10 years ago, or pushing forward. Wayne Miller is another one. Wayne Miller actually reached out to me more than 10 years ago, and he said he needed some help with the fundraising because he wanted to raise the money from private dollars, all private dollars, to do the renovation. And you know, fundraising that amount of money is very difficult. There's a lot of needs on campus. So we talked about it a few times over those years, and I finally said this ought to be a capital outlay project. It really should. This should be a state obligation. This is a state institution. These buildings have gone in, some of these buildings have gone in disrepair on this campus, and the state ought to pay to fix them. And so 2018 was when we really started the capital outlay process for renovating this building. And this was around $20 million to start with, and it's gone up to about $25 million. But Franklin Foyle and the House of Representatives really pushed for the dollars there and got this project into the capital outlay bill, into the state funding bill for 2018, which meant it wasn't going to be funded right away, but he got it into the bill, and then it had to be bonded eventually by the bonding commission. So there's a few steps in the process, but the other step is it had to go over to the Senate side to get approved after Franklin Foyle got it in on the House side. And my sister, Catherine Smith, did a lot of work because she works at the Capitol, did a ton of work convincing legislators, state senators to keep that money in the bill and support it. And then afterwards, John Bell Edwards decided that he was not going to veto the project. He was going to leave it in the bill. And then Jay Darden pushed it through on the bond commission for funding it eventually. So the dollars that have gone into this project are a result of a lot of different people and commitment from a lot of different people, including especially the folks that we talked about a second ago. I mean, the committee from the College of Human Sciences and Education of Carolyn Collins, Carolyn Hargrave, Laura Lindsay, Jacqueline Ducote, they did a great job. They wouldn't let it die. And you know, unless somebody's pushing from the inside like they were, it doesn't happen. And then of course Dean Roland Mitchell has been fantastic, and he's been so supportive, and I think he's going to be an innovator with this building, and I think he's going to really show what this state-of-the-art facility can do. So it's exciting.
I think the great part about this building is it's going to have a series of those moments, from big ones to little ones, and you're going to be able to experience it at all those different levels. So you'll get the collegial, grand public space and wonderful place for all of us to be together, but you're also going to have those intimate moments, almost of solitude, and it can speak to you as an individual. So that's some of the wonder here, is it works at all of those scales, which is very unusual for a building.
I think the building will change the quality of education by allowing the students to collaborate with their own classmates and even those just within our college, because we're able to see how change is happening in all aspects of our work. We are very people-focused in everything that the Human Sciences and Education College is, and I think that having one central location to collaborate with all of our classmates is going to be a very big impact and very helpful to our future.
I'm just honored and humbled to be a part of the team that pushed this along. This does not happen without a collaborative effort, and the other folks who we're pushing are all equally as important in getting this done. And I got to tell you, I didn't live it every day because I have another job. And to see Carolyn Collins and Carolyn Hargrave and Jacqueline Ducote and Laura Lindsay living this every day, that is such a huge amount of commitment to go there and see this building and realize that it needs to be remodeled and renovated and think about what it can be every day is the real hard thing.
You all have no idea how hard these women work behind the scenes. They're not the ones out there seeking the recognition, but I have worked with them for years. And when I need something, and when I was serving on the LSU Board of Supervisors, go-to people for knowledge of this institution, and they're willing to step forward and put in the work and the hours to get things done, just like this field house, this renovation of this field house, but so many other things that these people have done to benefit this university that I probably don't even know.
Congratulations to them for their commitment, and I'm just humbled to be included with such a great group, and that nobody gave up, and I don't think we'll ever forget it, especially when we go in that new building.
Everybody caught the vision. Everybody understood the importance, and everybody knew the need to hold hands through what was going to be a tough process. You take a building built in the 1930s and incrementally added to over time, it's not going to be easy. But to bring that back to life has been a true team effort. But it's not about any of those people, honestly. It's about what will happen and the people that are to come and the possibilities that happen there. Because look, Huey Long was always about the students. It was about student engagement. It was about student life. And that's what it's going to be. We are turning her back to what she was, but we are opening up her to be what she can be. What a great legacy, right? It stands on a foundation of the future, but it's all about, of the past, but it's all about the future and the students that will be there. So I'm just thrilled to be a part of that team, but I'm more thrilled to watch what's going to happen because of what Huey Long can bring to future generations.